This is KVUE News at 5.
Developments surrounding the conviction of Greg Kelly. Tonight, what may be happening sooner than expected in the case.
President Donald Trump announcing the U.S. will withdraw from the Paris Climate Accord. Now it's stirring up troubles within his inner circle.
Good afternoon. I'm Terry Gruca.
And I'm Mike Rush. We have new developments today on the timing of a hearing for Greg Kelly. It's currently set for the first week of August.
But today, the DA says it may now be sooner. KVUE Defender and Austin American-Statesman reporter Tony Polhetsky is in the newsroom with why. Tony?
Well, Mike and Terry, it's because of new information DA Sean Dick says law enforcement continues to get in this case that may work in Greg Kelly's favor. Dick told me just a little while ago, quote, "The tips we are getting make it even more compelling to try to do it more quickly. Both sides are talking about ways that we can move more quickly to have the hearing sooner." Now, in that hearing, Kelly will argue that he was wrongfully convicted with sexually assaulting a 4-year-old boy in 2013. We first reported last week that prosecutors have confirmed an alternative suspect in the case, Kelly's friend, Jonathan McCarty. McCarty is in the Williamson County Jail on unrelated charges, but has not been charged in this case. Kelly has maintained his innocence and told me in a prison interview yesterday that he thinks police unfairly targeted him. He has served about 3 years of a mandatory 25-year sentence. But there are some key factors in getting that date moved. First, they have to look at the court schedule, and both sides must also make sure key witnesses are available to testify. Mike and Terry?
All right, thanks, Tony. And tonight there will be a rally at the Williamson County Courthouse in support of Greg Kelly. It starts at 8 o'clock. We'll have more on that rally coming up tonight at 10 on KVUE News Night Beat.
A few isolated showers and storms on MaxStorm Doppler radar this afternoon. For the most part, a lot of this activity has been to the east of Austin, including a pop-up shower to the southwest of Cedar Creek. Pretty strong thunderstorm moving into the southeast corner of Lee County. This is going to be getting a little bit closer to Dime Box over the next 20 minutes. Hail tracker showing some small hail possible with that thunderstorm that's lifting off to the northeast at about 10 miles per hour. Quiet in Austin right now as we sit at 88 degrees, but we'll keep in a chance for a passing shower storm this evening. Those rain chances dry up to 20% tomorrow before returning for the second half of the weekend. Full forecast just a few minutes away.
See you then. Thanks, Albert. The United States will withdraw from the Paris Climate Agreement. President Trump announced the decision today after intense lobbying on both sides of the issue. ABC's Janae Norman explains what this means for the U.S. going forward.
Another campaign promise kept.
We're getting out, but we will start to negotiate, and we will see if we can make a deal that's fair. And if we can, that's great. And if we can't, that's fine.
President Trump announcing in the Rose Garden today that the United States will officially withdraw, joining Syria and Nicaragua and not being a part of the Paris Climate Accord. Under the agreement, more than 190 countries committed to cutting greenhouse gas emissions in an effort to combat climate change. Trump wants to increase fossil fuel output in hopes of reviving the coal industry, though numbers show more Americans work in car washes, theme parks, and even Arby's employs more workers than the coal mining industry.
Global warming and that, a lot of it's a hoax. It's a hoax. I mean, it's a money-making industry, okay?
The president had strong opinions coming in on both sides of the issue from his inner circle. The decision is seen as a win for Chief Strategist Steve Bannon, who along with 22 Senate Republicans pushed for Trump to pull out of the deal. And it marks a loss for Ivanka Trump, Jared Kushner, and even the Pope, Apple CEO Tim Cook, and Tesla's head Elon Musk, who all lobbied to stay.
I think withdrawing from the Paris Accord is a historic, monumental mistake that we will pay the price for the next several generations.
Withdrawing from the Paris Climate Agreement won't happen overnight. The U.S. has to wait 3 years before it's eligible to withdraw, and then another year before that takes effect. So President Trump is essentially stuck with the agreement until just after the 2020 election. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
Former FBI Director James Comey will break his silence. He'll testify on Capitol Hill next week before Congress. He's expected to share details of his conversations with President Trump as part of the Senate's Russia probe. Comey has hinted the president asked him to lay off the investigation. Trump has maintained there was no collusion between his campaign and Russia during the election.
New at 5, former actress and beauty queen Margaret Ann Garza has been found dead in Round Rock. Police were called to a home on Mathers Mill Trail on Tuesday morning. Garza was not breathing and later pronounced dead. The cause of her death remains under investigation. Lanes of I-35 in the Georgetown area are finally back open tonight after a major spill from a garbage truck shut them down for a few hours. It happened at exit 265 near the interchange of 130 just before 1. Police say a tow truck, which was carrying the garbage truck, crossed all lanes of traffic and crashed into a concrete divider.
So there's still some slowdowns there tonight, so be careful. Now to a story that has gotten a lot of attention. Austin's mayor, Steve Adler, standing up for women after he got an email that was not too kind to women.
Yeah, he says he gets all kinds of emails and letters from people all over the world, but he says this one rubbed him the wrong way. KVUE's Christy Millward spoke to the mayor about his response that's getting some applause.
What if someone thought you didn't know that women invented medical syringes and life rafts and fire escapes?
Mayor Steve Adler reads me his response to what he calls an abysmal email he got last week.
This one just felt like it needed a response.
The email addressed the decision local movie theater chain Alamo Drafthouse made to offer an all-female screening of the new movie Wonder Woman. The email's author said he hopes men will boycott Austin because of this, and said in part, the notion of a woman hero is a fine example of women's eagerness to accept the appearance of achievement without actual achievement. Adler posted a response on his website suggesting the man's account must have been hacked, telling the sender, this person's uninformed and sexist rantings give you a bad name. The email came from a man who lives in St. Louis. I spoke to him by phone today. He tells me he's never been to Austin, but saw a story about the all-female screening online. He tells me he feels the screening is, quote, unnecessarily sexist. Now, he says he hasn't seen the response from Mayor Adler and doesn't have any plans to read it.
While it's easy to be quiet, sometimes that silence is taken as acquiescence or even support. So it's important when you hear things like that that you at least note that that is just way off base.
A message not just for the email sender, but for everyone.
Yours sincerely, Steve Adler.
Christy Millward, KVUE News.
I said we could use the mayor's help with some of the mean emails.
We do get quite a few. That would be nice to have him sit in for us for a little bit.
His letter really has created quite a stir on social media today. A lot of people supporting his response. Take a look. Belinda Vargas. Thank you, Mayor, for being a person of integrity and substance. Thank you, Alamo Drafthouse, for being open-minded and knowing the value of women in the world. After all, this arrogant, ignorant man forgot he was born to a woman. I'd hate to see how he treats his mother.
But Jalen Morrell responded, who cares? Why even bother responding? It just gives his complaint validity. People are offended by anything and everything. Mayor Adler says he plans to go see the Wonder Woman movie himself at the Alamo Drafthouse.
Just not on Ladies' Night, right?
Not on Ladies' Night. Not invited on Ladies' Night.